The spark of arrogance. The galaxy had long dismissed humanity as a curiosity, a small, spirited species from a blue-green world, clever with machines, skilled in exploration, yet laughably restrained in war. Their diplomats spread treaties, their colonies built trade hubs, their fleets patrolled for pirates rather than conquest. To most great powers, humans were harmless, useful, even, but certainly not dangerous. The Vian Dominion decided to prove that point in fire. They descended upon Eridan Prime, a thriving human colony at the edge of the spiral arm. The Vian warlord broadcast his threats across the stars. You Earthborn preach peace because you lack claws. You avoid war because you cannot fight it. Watch as we erase your colony and mark your species with ash. His armada rained plasma on the city domes, laughing as children screamed over emergency channels. Human envoys begged for mercy, but the Vian answered with a live execution broadcast, an ambassador vaporized before billions. The galaxy looked on. Most expected Earth to protest, to condemn, perhaps to send another envoy. Few expected more. Mockery of the peaceful. In the Galactic Council halls, alien diplomats sneered. The humans will do nothing, some said. They will sue for reparations, others chuckled. They always talk of war avoided. They do not even remember how to fight. The Vian warlord himself mocked them in speeches, his voice booming through subspace. Humanity avoids war because they are too weak to wage it. Their peace is not wisdom, it is fear. The council laughed with him. For centuries, humanity had spoken of restraint, of memory, of scars left behind. No one had asked what those scars were. No one cared. Until one man answered. The warning. Ambassador Marcus Hale stood before the council chamber. Alone, unarmed and solemn, he listened as the laughter filled the hall. They asked the question again. Tell us, human, why does your kind avoid war? His reply was not a speech, it was a revelation. We avoid war, Hale said, his voice echoing cold and steady. Because when we fight, we do not stop. When we are forced to wage war, it is not to conquer, it is to annihilate. You burned our colony. You executed our envoy. You think we will protest, send words. Instead, you have awakened what our ancestors swore never to unleash again. The chamber grew still. Hale's eyes swept the council. Do you know why Earth carries so many scars? Because every time someone forced our hand, we ended it so completely that the survivors begged never to repeat it. We avoid war because if it comes, there will be no one left to laugh afterward. Some scoffed, others shifted uncomfortably, but far beyond the chamber in the black void, the answer was already unfolding. The silence before the storm. At first there was quiet, no threats, no broadcasts, no declarations of war. Then came the silence. Communications blacked out across sectors where Earth's fleets moved. Merchant ships reported glimpses of shadows, dreadnoughts the size of mountains, engines cold, hulls painted void black. The Vian mocked this too. They come with relics and husks, let them burn. But the Dominion's forward fleets never reported back. Patrol stations went dark. Convoys vanished without distress calls. In council space, rumors spread like wildfire. The Terrans were mobilizing. Entire shipyards emptied in silence. Civilian liners were converted overnight. Old defense platforms came online with weaponry never before revealed. And then across the stars came the message. This is Earth Command. You struck first. Now you will learn why humans avoid war. The breaking of the Dominion. The retaliation began not with skirmishes, but with storms. Terran fleets blotted out suns, formations so dense that daylight dimmed on worlds they approached. Their carriers unleashed swarms of drones, precision-engineered hunters that slipped past shields and tore warships apart from within. On Uridan Prime's ruins, survivors looked up and wept as human marines descended, armor black, visors glowing like embers, their arrival like a tide of thunder. The Vians struck back with fury, but their fleets crumpled. Terran railguns split battleships in two, firing slugs so fast they burned like miniature stars. Orbital strikes carved Dominion fortresses into craters visible from orbit. The galaxy watched in horror as entire armadas vanished in hours. The humans gave no speeches, offered no mercy. They did not occupy, they erased. The Day of Fire. When the Dominion gathered its grand fleet, hundreds of capital ships, bristling with weapons that had subdued empires, Earth answered with silence. Then came the Leviathans. Colossal Terran dreadnoughts, unseen for centuries, glided from dark space, each one a cathedral of war, bristling with batteries that could flay moons. The battle lasted 3 hours. The aftermath lasted millennia. Warlords screamed as their ships were reduced to molten husks. Command stations imploded as Terran infiltration AIs turned their systems against them. Planetary defenses shattered under coordinated orbital fire that rained down like a second sun. By the battle's end, the Dominion was not a power. It was a memory. The lesson carved in ash. The galaxy, once amused, was now silent. Human fleets hung in orbit above the Dominion's capital world, but they did not conquer. They transmitted one final message. We do not seek your worlds. We do not desire your riches. We seek only this truth. Never strike at us again. Never believe our peace is weakness. We avoid war because vengeance, once awakened, leaves nothing but ash. Then the fleets withdrew, not in triumph, not in conquest, but in absolute silence. The aftermath. The Galactic Council chamber, once filled with laughter, now echoed with dread whispers. The phrase spread from world to world, a warning burned into memory. Never provoke Earth. Survivors of the Dominion told tales of shadows blotting out stars, of soldiers who fought like storms, of fleets that moved like extinction given form. Humanity returned to its silence, to its treaties and exploration. But no one laughed anymore when a Terran envoy spoke of peace. Because every being in the galaxy now knew, human patience is vast, but their vengeance is infinite.